Just when you think women can't get any more toxic than they already are, they decide to double down on it. Like this one, which has to be seen to be believed.
If you think that taking away women's rights is your only chance at getting a woman, you have not only socially failed, you have biologically failed.
Ah, yes, the men are taking away women's rights argument. The one these women have thrown out time and time again. Yet, when you ask them to give you just one example of a right that they have that's been taken away, all you're going to hear is, and that's because women haven't lost one right, not a single one. Yet they persist in claiming that men not only are doing it, but have been doing it over and over again because they're so angry. And lest we forget, there are plenty of rights that women have that men don't. Like say, the right to vote, get federal jobs, or even to be free without having to sign up for the draft. Something women aren't obligated to do at all. Or the right to determine if they want to be a parent or not. Something men don't have, yet women, well, they can hand a child over at the firehouse or hospital with absolutely no worries about having to support the child. Or, of course, the right to, how shall we put it? Let's go with remove it from their womb simply because they want to. Men have no such options. Women also have the right to a presumption of innocence, something supposedly guaranteed in our Constitution, but something men have now lost since the birth of the Me Too movement, when it was decided we're going to believe all women, even though most of them are lying through their teeth. And let's be clear, it's women who have played a large role, the most significant one, in fact, in having those rights taken away from men. While again, let me repeat it, not having lost a single one themselves. Oh, the irony. Oh, the hypocrisy. Oh, the double standards. But she isn't done yet. Oh no, my friends. She's got even more to say.
I am sick and tired of watching men complain about how women don't want them.
Oh, okay. Right up there with the double standards and hypocrisy today's modern women live by is their projection. Sweetie, I hate to break it to you, but you sisters, y'all lying to yourselves because men aren't complaining. Well, the overwhelming majority of men aren't. Sure, there's a few out there who fall into a certain category I won't mention who do, but the bulk of men, the overwhelming majority of them, aren't complaining about women not wanting them at all, because in reality, it's the other way around. The fact is, men don't want women, especially ones who are so toxic and hateful towards them. Ones who are trying to cope by projecting onto them what they are actually guilty of.
Additionally, blaming women for their shortcomings, blaming women when they get rejected.
More projection. No, darling, that's what women do, and your video is the very proof of it.
Inside the animal kingdom, most male animals do not get a chance to procreate.
Oh, darling, I know this is going to come as a complete and utter shock to you and, frankly, most women out there, but we aren't animals. We're human beings. They're two entirely different things. So your example is nothing more than hyperbolic emotional wish-wash designed to justify your hate and toxicity towards men.
Only 80% of women want the top 20% of men. Yes!
Credit where credit is due. She, and I'll be kind here, who is at best a mid, thinks she's worthy, in fact, entitled to a man who's at least a 10. And she's not alone. Even she's basically admitting just how delusional women are, that they think that they, as, let's call them non-10s, think that they are capable, deserving even, of getting the top 20% of men, even when they're in the bottom 20% themselves. I mean, we all know how girl math works, but if 80 out of 100 of you women think you deserve the top 20 of guys, really more like the top 5 out of 100, well, darlings, I hate to burst your little bubbles, but the math ain't mathin', and no amount of wishing is gonna change that.
We don't want someone who doesn't have their shit together.
Okay by us, most especially those of us who do have our shit together. But what makes you think that means we want to have anything to do with you? It's not like you have your shit together. Darling, men who have their shit together want nothing to do with this level of delusion, this level of toxicity, this level of hate. Especially when, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but to be real, you aren't going to be winning America's Top Model anytime soon. Yet here today's women are demonstrating yet again that this is exactly how they think and act. I mean, it's truly sad, but at the same time, it's freaking hilarious.
Would you?
Well, no, we wouldn't, which is exactly why we're rejecting you, rejecting all women, because none of you have your shit together. Oh, you think you do, but as videos like this show, well, men are done dealing with it. They're walking away from your insanity, your delusions, and your fantasies. And rather than take a step back, take a look in the mirror and asking yourselves, are we perhaps part of the problem? All y'all women are doubling down on your attitude, your hate, your toxicity. Because as I've said time and again, you all truly believe that somehow that makes you more attractive to men, when in reality, it repulses them.
Red pill men love to say, well, the truth hurts.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to have to give you this one. We do say it and say it a lot. But here's the thing. We say it because, unlike today's women, men don't live in la-la land. They live in reality. So yeah, we say it, and we're going to keep saying it because, well, it does. Now, I'll grant it's a waste of our breath for most of you, but the fact is, every once in a while, it does sink in and a woman realizes just how awful she is. And I guess you could say that men, unlike women, are hopeful. They look for the best, not wallow in the worst. So yeah, that's why we say it and should keep saying it.
Women finally have rights and are now practicing natural selection, and y'all are mad about it.
Natural selection? Is that what we're calling it now? Okay. Well, honey, I hate to break it to you, but men are doing the same. But you see, you don't call it natural selection. You call it something else because you're trying to cope with the reality that men want nothing to do with you. And it's why you've created this phony male loneliness epidemic.
Instead of going to therapy, instead of practicing some introspection on your bigotry, on your hate towards women, you would rather hate us in return for not choosing you.
Wow. Talk about projection. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Sorry, darling, but men don't hate you. Honestly, we don't. I mean, it's you who hates us. That much is obvious. But that doesn't then in turn mean that men hate you. But that said, we are laughing at all of you who think this way. We're laughing at the complete and utter hypocrisy of it all. Laughing at the delusion. Laughing at the narcissism. Laughing at the projection. The projection of all the things you just mentioned that you say men do, but in reality are what women do, as you've proven throughout your video.
You would rather blame us for your loneliness.
Loneliness? What loneliness? Oh, right. There's a male loneliness epidemic. A fallacy you've all created to, as I mentioned earlier, cope with the reality that men have come to the realization, we don't need you. We're better off without you. And happier, far happier on our own than we could ever be with you. Look, I get it. It's not fun realizing that you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. It's not fun being rejected time and again. It's not fun being completely ignored. You may think that by projecting your bitterness, your unhappiness, your loneliness onto men, that will somehow change the reality that your life has become. Well, darling, I hate to break it to you, but that's not going to work. It never has, and it never will. But I get it. Y'all haven't realized that yet, and I honestly doubt you ever will. Because to do so would mean having to take responsibility for your actions. Take accountability for the way you view and treat, or should I say mistreat, men. And that ain't ever gonna happen, is it?
I'm sorry, but the truth hurts. And the truth is, Is the male loneliness epidemic is not a thing.
Wait, what? What did she just say? Hold on, I gotta rewind and hear this again.
Is the male loneliness epidemic is not a thing.
Wow. All right. I guess the male loneliness epidemic is not a thing. I guess it proves that, as they say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Though, much like time, you just know she's going to keep moving forward, don't you?
It's the male loser epidemic.
Damn it! I thought she was going to say something good. Well, at least it was good for the half second that it lasted. Now let's address what she said. The male loser epidemic? Oh, honey, it isn't the men who are losing. Not by a long shot. Men are winning, and winning big, because they found their freedom. They found their happiness. They found their peace. And they found it by walking away from you.
And if you were a woman, be 100% honest with me. If you were a woman, would you choose a man who was emotionally irregulated, mean, treats you like their mother, expects you to do the cooking, the cleaning, the childcare, giving birth, going to a job full time?
All right, I'll be honest. The answer is no. No, I wouldn't. But you aren't talking about reality. Again, you're back in your little fantasy that you've concocted to justify your hatred and toxicity towards men. Because you see, the part you don't want to admit is that's not how the overwhelming majority of men think. Oh, you think men think that way, not because men actually do think those things, but because other women such as yourself have all convinced each other by making videos like this that that is the way men think. You've convinced yourselves that you, and women in general, know better than men how men actually think and feel and what they want and desire. And it's why women such as this tell men all the time that they're wrong when men say they don't think that way. Well, I gotta grant one thing. The giving birth part, I mean, yeah, you got us there. We do actually expect you to handle that. Mostly because, contrary to what you all have decided, we men can't give birth. We don't have the biological wherewithal to do so. So yeah, we're going to give you that one. We kind of sort of have no choice but to expect you to do that. I mean, to expect otherwise would be beyond ludicrous. But then again, it is how women think. Though I do have to ask, for all of you still watching, did you ever think we'd get to the point where women, and it is almost exclusively women, would convince each other that giving birth, being a mother, being what millions of years of evolution and biology has designed them to be, is something to be ashamed of, something to be shunned, something to be avoided? I mean, that literally is where we are at now, where women want to be men, not women. And then they wonder why men aren't interested in them. As Mr. Spock would say, illogical.
Would you? Would you? Would you?
Now let me state, I mean no ill will towards this woman at all. She clearly has some issues, but she's being upfront. She is who she is, and she's honestly sharing it with all of us. And I admire her for showing us just who she is. In fact, I respect her for it. But we'd be remiss if we didn't point out it's pretty obvious why she is the way she is. And her and all the other women out there, for that matter. Which is why they're running around making these videos and saying these things and having these beliefs. It isn't going to change a damn thing. It's not going to convince a single man, not one, to change or be interested in them. And let's be honest, if it did, they'd all be rejecting his ass because he's a wimp, being unmanly, being a coward. I say it all the time. It is truly mind-boggling how the hive mindset has permeated into women and how they cannot fathom just how toxic they've all become, just how narcissistic and delusional. It's truly mind-boggling how, as I mentioned before, they literally believe making videos like this is somehow going to attract a man. As men, you just got to shake your head and walk away, which is exactly what men have been doing and will be doing for a long time to come.